Hello and it's a warm welcome to the national news on Star Television, Channel 21. I am Yesi Ernest Haloga. First, the headlines. The United Bank for Africa Foundation launches the third edition of the National Essay Competition for pupils.
United Bank for Africa Sierra Leone continues to set the pace in the financial arena in Sierra Leone, continuing to expand the products and services, the branch network, and establishing long-lasting business relationships for the benefit.
The Ministry of Transport and Aviation outlines its strategic vision for the maritime sector, focusing reforms in business to bolster domestic revenue generation.
Sometimes even the type of vessel they hire to come with the consignment creates problems for us. So it's always good for us to help in planning. Of course, support the Ministry of Transport and
Lack of consultations for other political parties in governance issues has caused a whole lot of challenges in the country. This is according to the leader and chairman of the National Unity and Reconciliation Party.
Now, fast forward, based on lessons learned and still the war was raging, and in 2002, the second
Those were the headlines. Welcome back, and now for the news in detail. The United Bank for Africa Foundation, in collaboration with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, on Friday, November 11th, officially launched the third edition of the bank's National Essay Competition at the Bintumani Conference Hall in Freetown. Adonis Francis does a story.
Speaking at the official launch of the National Essay Competition at the Bintumani International Conference, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer UBA Sierra Leone, Ishaka Usman, emphasized the driving force behind the annual competition, noting that, as a foundation, they are passionate about the annual NEC because it changes lives and helps to improve the quality of lives of students and their families. The Managing Director and CEO, Ishaka Usman, noted that UBA Foundation initiative scheduled to be organized every year in countries where UBA has presence. This program has been running for the past 9 years in several countries. He expressed joy that UBA Sierra Leone is joining the other UBA group subsidiaries in Africa to launch the program this year.
I'm pleased to welcome you to the launching of the third edition of the National Essay Competition for SS pupils in secondary schools across Sierra Leone by UBA Foundation, in conjunction with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, MBSSE. The essay competition offers an opportunity for pupils in secondary classes to strengthen their critical thinking, civics, and other skill sets required for their growth. The winners will be given an opportunity to win scholarship grants for their university education in any African university of their choice to the limit of 50,000 new, 30,000 new, and 20,000 new for the first, second, and third position respectively. NEC is the UBA Foundation initiative that started in 2011 and as part of UBA Group's drive to improve the access to education for the underprivileged across Africa. This year we mark the third edition in Sierra Leone, in conjunction with the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education. In so doing, children across the country will be given the opportunity to participate in the life-changing competition. You will recall that last year, the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Sendia, was personally here to launch the second edition of the competition, just as he did also for the first edition earlier in 2020. We achieved an impressive result with an increase in the number of essays received to 411 from 304 schools across all the 16 districts in the country.
The board chairman, UBA Sierra Leone, Dr. Claudius Bratt Williams, maintained that the National Essay Competition helps to improve the quality of writing and competitiveness among students, noting that it is not just about writing essays, The ripple effect is really quite enormous.
As a board, we remain committed to supporting the management of UBA Sierra Leone in actualizing the bank's corporate social responsibilities in the following areas as has already been indicated: education, environment, economic empowerment, and special projects. As part of that commitment, not very long ago, the bank was involved in the distribution of books to various secondary schools. UBA, United Bank for Africa Sierra Leone, continues to set the pace in the financial arena in Sierra Leone, continuing to expand the products and services, the branch network, and establishing long-lasting business relationships for the benefit of all Sierra Leoneans within the business environment. To conclude, I would like to express my sincere appreciation once again to the Minister and his team at the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education on the strides that the Ministry has made in bringing to fruition the President's vision of providing free quality education to the children of Sierra Leone.
Frances M. Kamara, a representative of the Minister for Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Dr. David Mwenina Senge, commended UBA Foundation for holding the third edition of the National Essay Competition, NEC, for senior secondary students as part of UBA's Foundation Corporate Social Responsibility pillar for focusing on education, just like its Read Africa initiative, which is aimed at the reading culture and encouraging healthy and intellectual competition among secondary school students across Africa.
This competition should be something that will drive you to always showcase yourself, your writing skills. And somebody, I think is the MDCO, spoke about originality. It has to come from you as a competitor. We just saw the testimonies of those who won last year, and I want to believe you wanted to be like them and giving an award, financial award, and the other opportunities to go to places, to go to universities. So this is compelling you to tell others that there is a competition that will move them forward. The Ministry of Education has been with UBA, and we promise you that we'll continue to be with you as long as you are here to run with the vision of the President that is talking about human development capacity. When your capacity is developed, I think you'll be okay. Everything about education is fighting poverty. When you are educated, you've conquered poverty. You'll be able to take care of yourself, your parents, your siblings, your community, and the country as a whole. That is why we are running with this vision of HED President as a ministry.
United Bank for Africa, UBA, PLC, Africa Global Bank, is committed to being a socially responsible financial institution and role model for all businesses in Africa. As the corporate social responsibility arm of the UBA Group, UBA Foundation is committed to the socio-economic betterment of the communities in which the bank operates, focusing on development in the areas of education, environment, economic empowerment, and special projects as its 4 CRS pillars. The UBA Foundation was incorporated in January 2004. Adonis Francis reporting.
The Ministry of Transport and Aviation, during the weekly government press briefing at the Ministry of Information and Communications, has outlined its strategic vision for the maritime sector, focusing reforms in business to bolster domestic revenue generation. Zainab Kamara reports.
In giving updates on the Sierra Leone's National Shipping Company, General Manager Ahmed Sebom Kano explained that there is more to shipping than clearing and forwarding, while highlighting mandates and strategic objectives. He also added that the number of clearing and forwarding agencies and the lack of compliance of MDs undermines their efficacy.
But this, if sometimes even the type of vessel they hire to come with the consignment creates problems for us. So it's always good for us to help in planning. Of course, support the Ministry of Transport and Aviation to provide technical advice to regulate the shipping, clearing, and the forwarding sector. You can move. It is good for us to know our strategic objectives. Please, the strategic objectives is very important. All companies must have a clear goal of what you want to achieve. One of the advantage you have at Sierra Leone National Shipping Company is that we know what we want to achieve. We are not guessing. I always tell people, being in the public sector for 20 years, I can't guess on what I'm doing. We have done the SWOT analysis. We know what to achieve, and these are our objectives.
Dr. Abdullahi Fofana, a representative of the Sierra Leone Ports Authority, highlighted the achievements and challenges of the company. He added that his management has increased workers' salary to 40% to efficiency.
How do you change that narrative? I mean, you have to engage your staff and tell them that, port, honest living can be derived from the port by giving your honest service, or you sell your labor to us, who pay you for the labor, which was why we had to increase salaries by 40% as soon as I got into the port. Increase salaries by 40%. That is a very motivating factor for them to change the internal dynamics of the way the port operates.
Director of Finance, Sierra Leone Maritime Authority, Hassan Lahai, also highlighted the challenges and successes of the agency, noting that Sierra Leone has graduated to the grey list from the blacklist of the MOU, which he attributed to their achievements.
MV Rosini, that was the vessel that was charged, that transported the first wheat, yes, from to Lebanon. It's only possible because of the marked improvement we have been able to make in our flag state responsibilities, so that they can, our vessel, or a vessel flying our flag, will be used to do that type of international job. So the flag state responsibility, as we speak, we have a little over 400 vessels flying.
For Star TV News, Zainab Amin Kamal reporting.
The leader and chairman of the National Unity and Reconciliation Party, Dr. Jonathan J.P. Sande, has said lack of consultations for other political parties in governance issues has caused a whole lot of challenges, noting the absurdity leading to the electoral cycle. He spoke to Abdulrahman Kamara in this interview when he visited our studio.
Where all political parties, imagine we have over 20-something political parties, even a number of people today. Dr. Abbas Bundu had his own party, you know that. You also know that Sylvia Blyden has the Young People's Party, Zainab Bangrua has his own party, the MOP, and many others were leading political parties in the inception of 1996 democracy, which had over 20 or more political parties, 23 to 25. So the national list system was utilized, what we call the PR system. Now, fast forward, based on lessons learned, and still the war was raging, and in 2002, the second coming of President Tijan Kaba was also on the PR system, the block system, you know, what we call district block proportional representation. Unlike the national list, they say let's settle for both parliamentary and elections under the PR system. Now, fast forward 2007, when Tijan Kaba was exiting, in terms of political transition, we adopted the first past the post, the winner takes all. That is what brought His Excellency, former President Ernest Bai Koroma, to power in 2007. Then we used that again, the winner takes all, in 2012 election. And then we used that for 2018, which brought President Mada Bio into office. So the dilemma we have, which should not be a dilemma, we should have drawn lessons from Tijan Kaba regime under PR system, almost 10, 11 years, and then Koto Ernest Bai Koroma, 2-term, and then now we have the 3rd term, the 2018 electoral system on that. So we have used 3 times in our multi-party democratic competition, what we call electoral democracy, we have utilized the model of winner takes all, that is constituency based, 3 times. And then we have also used the PR system, the proportional representation, whether it's using the national list or the district block. We have also utilized that twice. So the question we should have been asking ourselves long before now, and that is where I have the blame with NEC and the rational executive decision making, that when 2 years ago we were in Kimbima, Golden Tulip, NEC launched their national strategic plan for 5 years. And one of the things they emphasized was we will save the integrity of the electoral process, because I often tell people there are 2 phases to election. Phase 1 is the normative phase, and phase 2 is the operational phase. Phase 1, when we say normative, these are the legal and policy instruments and programming you put together, and which will lay the foundation for saving the integrity and ensuring that we have a free, fair, transparent and accountable elections. Then phase 2 is the operational phase, which is really the one day we go to the polling center to cast our vote. So if you don't get the normative phase well, that is the process of getting the legal framework, building a consensus on which nature and type of electoral model you use, which population census data, because when we say population census, it is clear in our constitution that you use the census to inform the delimitation of political boundaries. So all of these are within what we call the normative phase in electoral management. Because as I say, the final phase, which is the operational phase, is only a day. That is when we all go to the polling center to cast our vote. But if you don't get the normative phase right, there are challenges, both structural and operational challenges, which citizens, and particularly those, the principal agents, which compete into an election, that is political parties, will become suspicious and then say whether the trust deficit, citizens' trust, will then set up in terms of questioning the integrity of the electoral process. So that's where we are. So what I mean is timing. The timing has been structurally a problem. And therefore, this has actually affected the nature and type of electoral system we use, and which means that the thought process we have in adopting either of the electoral model, we must reflect that. And why now? That's the question. Because the question is, if actually we compare the 3 systems, the 2 systems were used under President Tijan Kaban, and then Ernest Kroma, and then His Excellency President Maada Bio, we should then have dialogue. And that's why I keep saying, in the legal and policy, for me, our campaign, National Unity and Reconciliation Party, our slogan is cut across. Cut across means let's dialogue. Long before now.
Viewers, round up the national news on Star Television, Channel 21. One of the leading telecommunications companies, QCell, is steadily adhering to its corporate social responsibility to the admiration of many Sierra Leoneans in and out of the country. One key project that the company undertook was to inform subscribers to register their SIM cards or to cross-check for proper verification of their MIN, an exercise undertaken across the country. George Edward Sam tells us more.
One of the laudable projects that the company undertook was to inform their subscribers to register their SIM cards or to cross-check for proper verification of their MIN. This exercise were done across the country. The tour simultaneously kickstarts in the south, northeast, and the western area. While receiving the items and also making a statement, the Chief Superintendent of Police, Mr. Michael J.K. Laga, praises QCell for their tremendous contribution in making sure that the people of the South enjoy an affordable and most reliable network service. The SIM registration, according to the police boss South, said it is a step in the right direction as it will help to reduce the crime rate in that part of the country.
My brother, it's a step in the right direction. For some of us who have traveled outside Sierra Leone to other countries, you don't just use your SIM card to commit a crime. The next moment, you are tracked down. So if QCell have deemed it fit to come and sensitize people and register each subscriber, I think it will lessen the burden on the security sector and even the police who are investigating. Because if your SIM is registered, you know how to use it. You use it legally or judiciously. You don't just take your SIM and give it to somebody to go and commit a crime, or you don't use your SIM to commit a crime. You will be cautioned somehow. So this registration will be as a kind of deterrent to the users or subscribers that are using your network or your SIM to abstain from criminality.
As the company is described as a poor man friend in Bo, this is what some of its subscribers and sales agents had to say about its services and operations.
Me on QCell SIM, why don't subscribe? Why don't subscribe like Fridays? In the end, I say past 2 weeks, that 10,000 why they subscribe. So QCell is so good. For what I don't get QCell, I know other SIM again in my life. When I don't come up here, I dey inside my room. I dey play with my phone all day. What's no more they make my phone go off? When lights not there. The QCell is so good, 100% QCell. It good pass the company, they all for me.
Well, I go tell you say QCell network na the best for me, and I don't use all that network I dey country here. Since we phone come, then I don't see, I don't listen, I don't watch. But cool network in this country, not that with QCell are two different network them. QCell I go say that the cheapest and the best and the fastest in terms of internet facility. In terms of making calls, I'd say it's not the best, because since we are doing a QCell service, if I make the call from QCell to another network, QCell they give me bonus, and I make QCell to QCell, and they get another bonus again.
I want to say kudos to QCell, because the first day I start for selling QCell, they will tell me the price. When they buy Orange, 95, QCell, 93. So that don't make my business don't grow, because the percentage when they give me, I really appreciate to the percentage. That don't make my business don't grow big. Make another as I talk to you right now. QCell, now the best, I like them.
Well, I don't join this company now about a year now. Really, the network problem now, even the browsing side, I can so enjoy it where they browse. Really, the network is steady in a area where they win a Koribondo.
Mrs. Martin Young, head of sales, QCell Sierra Leone, who also doubles as the team lead for the South, said the campaign is geared towards informing their subscribers as directed by their regulator, NATCOM, for them to register their SIM cards, and also as a way for them to popularize their operations and also market their products.
The essence of this campaign is, like I said, to emphasize on proper registration, because most of the subscribers don't register their SIM card properly, and then NATCOM is stressing for all the MNOs to deactivate the improper registered SIM card. So we said, QCell, we just don't want to deactivate our customers without telling them that this is what they need to do. You understand? So that's why we have a team. We are going nationwide, like I said. We have the South, the North, the East, and the West. We'll go door to door, marketplaces where the population, is high, and then we will talk to our customers individually, make sure that their SIM cards are registered properly. They can also call, like I said, 222 for them to check their registration status. So this will reduce the crime rate of this. Someone call me and then insult me. I don't know the person. I don't know this and that. So it will really help.
John Tomosa Amara Goboy, the town chief of Moyowa John, thanked the QCell team for their kind gesture and also for providing affordable means of communication for his people. He pledged his support to the company.
I feel very much happy. And now the QCell is what we know about a long time for say the network is very cheap, and we welcome them very much. We don't begin see, we say self, so we like them. The way the people they don't come, I feel happy, and I feel very much happy for work with them. We will support them. The one that will work now will support QCell anytime, any hour. They need me anytime. I'm ready for serve them as authority of this place.
PC Fode Momo Gulama thanked the team and also assured them of his continued support. He also pleaded for the company to extend their coverage to other areas of his district.
Well, in the first place, I want to tell QCell thank you that you don't kind of live with from the problem we've been get with for communicate from with people them from the one that within a year, the one that within a village, the one that within a diaspora. Where QCell can a year, it don't really live with from that. The communication they go in the flow and with people that don't gladdy too much because today we been get problem. Now only very few mobile companies have been there. And the most thing we make we gladdy now when we can open office, some of them are small boot them they can make for Sudan. But QCell get a full office now where if you want use SIM card, you want to do anything, any business with QCell now there you go. So now the entire district don't know say QCell get office now and it is service with people that well.
For Star TV News in Freetown, I am George Elliott Sam reporting.
Well, viewers, that's all we have for you in today's edition of the National News on Star Television, Channel 21. I am Yesi Ernest Hallowell. Many thanks for watching and have a nice weekend.